Hello, and this is cybersecurity expert Reginald Andre, and thank you for watching our show. Today, we're going to be talking about the city of North Miami and their cyber incident, and we're going to be talking about the lessons learned and the ongoing challenges. If you've been under a rock and you're just now hearing about this, uh, since I think around August the 4th of this year, the city has been experiencing a cyber attack, or as they call it, a cyber incident that has led to a complete shutdown of their systems. What we're now 2 months in, so over 60 days now, where the city is still struggling to bring its systems back online. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing the implications of this attack, the challenge of the recovery, and the ongoing investigations on this. And additionally, we're going to be talking about some things that the hackers are doing specifically to put pressure on the city. And I want to start off by, our condolences to the city of North Miami. This podcast is not to bash them or to say what if. This podcast is for our viewers as more educational to talk about what is it that the hackers are going to do. And if you're going through a cyber attack, how does that look like? And why you should now take preventative measures now so you're not in this situation. So again, this is not to bash or to play Monday morning quarterback. Our sincere condolences are with them because I can only imagine, well, I know what they're going through, but I can only imagine what they're going through and the stress that this is causing. So in case you didn't know, the city of North Miami, they're located right here in South Florida. They occurred around August the 4th, 2024, a cyber breach. And we found that out through some of our local news channels. And we actually were even interviewed with some of these news channels. And what typically then happens is that especially since it's a city, they have the resources of the FBI, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, even their police department to investigate this. Now, the first tip that I want to give you is you are not the city. You are a small business owner. And if you get some type of ransomware or attack and you're not national security or you're not a school or you're not a hospital, do not expect the FBI to come running to your doors to help you. You are going to be on your own. There is a website where you can report that you've had a ransomware, but don't expect anybody to call you back and some guy is going to come and fly and try to help you. Because it doesn't work that way. You have a budget. The city has an unlimited budget within its, they do have a budget, but unlimited in the sense that they can always tax their taxpayers, and you have to work with what you have. So that's why it's important to have cyber insurance so that when these type of situations happen, you are going to be protected, not protected, but you're going to at least have some financial help because they're going to be offering breach coaches and forensics and things like that. So from news reports, several news reports, the breach forced the shutdown of critical systems, including payment processing, citizen services. We had one client, they're a title company. They told us that they haven't been able to do anything with the city as far as doing lien searches and so forth because the building department was down. So as of today, the city remains in recovery mode. And if you look at their website, which I'm going to go ahead and share right now, you'll still see that their website actually still has a notice that they're down. So let me go ahead and share that screen. So here you're going to see this is this says Monday. This says Monday, September the 30th, but obviously today's October the 2nd, and it says that as of Monday, August the 12th, the city hall has opened back to the public. So they were basically down for about a week where they weren't even taking anybody to come in. And then another interesting thing is it says, as we continue to address the recent cyber attacks, we have become aware of fraudulent emails being sent on the city's behalf of the city. So this is just another indicator that the hackers were able to get information about residents. And then from there, they're now portraying to be city employees to try to get them to click on a link for payment or for information. Now, something else that's been interesting, and I wanted to point out, is how the city is now being, in a sense, forced, or they're being cornered into paying some type of ransom for the city services to get back. Now, again, it's been 2 months that they've been down. So that tells me that it's possible their backup systems, they're still going through that. They may still are trying to see how how the bad guy got in, how the cyber crook got in. And I say these things because think of your business, right? If your business was down or limited services for um, for 2 months, where your staff couldn't fully work, where certain systems were down, what would happen to your business, right? You'd probably go out of business. Your customers would probably say, you're breaching the contract, time is money, I love you, but I got to find somebody else that's going to be able to deliver. Of course, when you're dealing with the city, you only have one choice, right? You can't just decide to pay someone else or call someone else, for water services. But I want you to understand this is why it's so important to have some type of cyber, not some types, to have a complete, comprehensive cyber solution because your business cannot afford to be down for 2 months. This is what's happening with them right now, as we see on their website. Something else interesting that I want to share is how the city apparently there's some type of ransomware. We saw that on Channel 10 News where they talked about they showed a screenshot actually of an employee. I guess the employee sent a screenshot to Channel 10 and they said, hey, this is what happens when we log into our computer. This is the message, and it actually said ransomware. So I want to talk about that because the city has a rule. No, excuse me. The state of Florida has a rule that says that if you are a city government, a municipality, any type of state agency, state law says that you cannot pay the ransom. And there's two reasons for that. A, because taxpayers' money are going to be wasted. Wasted. I guess I can put in quotations depending on the situation on providing this money to cyber criminals. And B, it's kind of just a long-standing stance that U.S. has had, where you don't negotiate with terrorists, because if you give them money, you're basically fueling them to continue doing it. So in turn, when this legislation was passed, the idea was for these state agencies and cities to take cybersecurity more seriously. Now, there is a black and white line, or gray area, I should say, that talks about insurance companies. Now, it's possible, and we've seen this before, where the insurance company, when we saw this with the city of Fort Lauderdale, when they lost $1.2 million through a phishing scam, they wired the money to the wrong account with Moss Construction. Well, what we saw with there, according to what the mayor said, he says that the insurance was going to take care of some of it. So it's kind of a gray line, and and maybe there's some counsel that the city's getting just to say, you know what, we shouldn't do that. I don't know, but it's interesting that they haven't paid. And I'm going to now share my screen to talk about something else, another tactic that the hackers are going to use, and how you really need to take special attention. So I don't go on the dark web. I typically just go on LinkedIn, I go on Reddit, I'll go on Facebook, just publicly available things that you and I can do. And I always, the screen I showed you before, I just go to City of North Miami and I just see what they're saying. As you can see, they haven't updated their site because there's really nothing to say. But then I went on LinkedIn and I just did a hashtag City of North Miami, hashtag North Miami. And it was interesting because this fellow here, Simon Hall, which he just, this is not even a real account. He probably got hacked or it just got created. He is responding to a lot of the items that the city of North Miami is tagged on. And okay, so now I want to be sure that I say this at the beginning. Again, this is not to disparage anything the city of North Miami is doing. The purpose of this podcast is to provide the information to the viewers so that they can be aware of what cyber hackers do and how slimy they're going to get. So there's going to be some information here. It's publicly available information. In fact, you can even Google some of this stuff and it's showing up. So there's nothing that I did to go on the dark web to get. And I'm not going to double click on any of these photos because I don't want to be in anybody's bad side. So we're just giving out information to our viewers so that they are aware of how the bad guys play dirty. So here we have Chief of Police Sharice Goss. And as we scroll down here, you're going to see that this guy, Simon Hall, again, he's not a real person. It's not really Simon Hall doing this, but he now posted something on the city's internal docs. And I'm not going to show it, but it looks like it's like a table of contents of something for some type of police procedure, right? Standard operating procedures. Now here he's only showing the screenshot, but the interesting thing that how he's showing the screenshot is he's showing the screenshot, but he's showing a screen, and it's very intentional. He's showing the screenshot of the entire desktop. If you notice here on the bottom, you're seeing the icons, right? You're seeing the start menu here in the kind of the middle section, and then on the right hand side, it's actually showing the date. It's showing the date and the time. And that's very interesting because here it's showing that they had full access to the computer. And not only, and the reason I say this is because it lines up with the time that that this person, when the city says that they had the breach, and then also I believe it was the commissioner where he came on and he also said that they were in, even they were even sooner. So that was also very interesting as well. So they had access, it seems like, right, that they had access to the computer. So I'm going to continue scrolling down. And this is, again, the same table of contents, but they just put it on her stuff. And, I'm very curious why this hasn't even been taken down. And maybe they already know it, but they just haven't been able to do it. But typically with LinkedIn, you can actually hide messages. So if someone is spamming your account, you can actually go in and hide messages. So I'm surprised that this hasn't been removed yet. And maybe with this video, they're gonna take my advice and do that, because I would definitely do that. So as we continue going on this LinkedIn account, this is nothing special I'm doing. Nothing here's on the dark web. There's another document here. And again, I'm not going to click on it, but it's regarding some type of police matter and disciplinary matter, right? And again, it's a screenshot. It's showing the date. It's showing that this was, a certain date, a certain time. It's showing the weather to kind of show you that, hey, this is South Florida weather. It was 82 degrees that day, right? It all matches up. So this is interesting. This one is some type of requisition, I believe, some type of database, internal database that they're using. Here again, the table of contents, the disciplinary action information. This is another one that was very interesting when I saw it. Again, I don't want to talk, I'm not going to talk details about what it is, but it's information that they're actually posting. This one was interesting because it was some type of trainee information. So it seems like they hit the police department. Here's an email. They're showing you a screenshot of the emails. This is what hackers can do when they get into your systems. They have full access to your systems. They can look at all of your emails. They can then start replying back, acting as if they are you. This is what they're going to do. And now the fact that they're posting this, I usually see in other experiences, is that they're getting desperate because the negotiations are falling. And now they're saying, you know what, we're going to start putting your dirty laundry out there because we know you have the money. You're in the city of North Miami, right? You got taxpayers, you got an unlimited budget. They may not know the law, or they may have even seen their insurance documents to say, we know you have a cyber insurance policy. You need to pay up, right? And it's going to be interesting because, as we keep on going down, like I said, there's some stuff here that's super sensitive, so I'm not even going to talk about it. There's emails. Here, this one is interesting, right? And I'm not gonna go on it too much, but if you guys remember, there was some information about the mayor and some rumors that for sure he said that his Gmail account got compromised. That was on the news, and now they're showing different information on his Google Drive, which is it's not good, and if it's true, if it's not true, nevertheless, it's not good stuff. So, let me stop sharing my screen. But again, this stuff is all over the internet. If you go on certain Facebook pages, you'll see this. It's on Instagram. And just think about your business. Could your business survive this? We talked about how the city is going to be able to survive this, right? Maybe the politicians, that's a different story. If the citizens care, even paying attention, but the hackers, this is their bread and butter, is to deceive and to take your money, and they're going to do whatever they can. So if you are a manufacturing plant, and you have intellectual property, right? You have designs, you have different orders, whatever the case is, they're going to use that against you. What makes you think that if you're not going to pay them the ransom, or even if you do pay the ransom, that they're not going to take this information and sell it to your competitors, right? Look at what happened with Trump. Trump's campaign emails got hacked, and what did the Iranian government do? They went to the Biden campaign and said, "Hey, we have this. We're not even trying to sell it to you. Here's the information. Go through it. Maybe hey, look at page 7. There's some juicy stuff there." Now, thankfully, the administration said, "No, we don't want it. We don't want to look at it." They reported it to the FBI, but I can only imagine this Simon Hall, fake LinkedIn account, how he's probably DMing a lot of people right now. He's looking at people that has liked the City of North Miami page. He's probably looking on the Facebook pages, and he's just sending these messages, because what they're going to do, that residents are going to call the city frantic. "Oh my gosh, I just saw this. Oh my gosh, is my information out?" And what is that going to do? That's going to put pressure on the city to do something. And the same thing, the last thing you want is for your customer to be calling you to then say, "Hey, this insensitive information that I sent you, that I thought you were protecting your system, they're sending it to me, and they're saying that if I don't pay the money because you don't want to pay them, they're going to now sell this to the competitors," right? Maybe you're a financial services company and you manage very wealthy people's money, right? Multimillionaires' money, and their Schwab account and JP Morgan accounts, and their checking account information, their driver license, their social passport, all of that information that you store in your computer or some type of. And now keep in mind, because one in those screenshots, or many of those screenshots, was showing online databases, right? And when I say online databases, it wasn't necessarily stuff being stored locally. It was websites that they had access to, which either means that the passwords were stored on the credentials, and they just basically they were able to use that, or they were able to use take these passwords and put it on their computer. But I have a really good feeling they were just using what is called keyloggers, which keyloggers will basically take photos of your screen every 5 seconds, and then it sends it back to them. And that's probably why they're still down, because they're really having to probably just redo their entire system. So um, look, again, this is a horrible incident for the city of North Miami. I would highly recommend for them to do some damage control, and this is again why you're going to need cyber insurance, because you need a third party in this. Your IT company, your cybersecurity company, they're going to be so busy just doing triage that you need someone on the media side, on the social media side, the communication side, because they got to start reporting this to LinkedIn. This Simon Hall, let me check. This okay, I can guarantee you that this Simon Hall. Okay, look. So the account was created in. He joined in 2009, and it was updated. His contact information was updated over 1 year ago. What that tells me is that this Simon Hall guy, his account got hacked, being that he joined in '09. Now, if he had joined like 2 months ago, then you just know that the bad guy just created it. So this tells me that this Simon Hall guy's account got hacked, and then now from there, they just use his profile to now start posting things, and it kind of just goes under the radar, because hey, this guy's had an account for over 15 years, and him posting things is no problem, versus someone that created an account yesterday and is posting like crazy. That may raise a red flag. So if I'm the city of North Miami, or if you're if you're going through this, the first thing I would do is report the page, and then go on the personal pages of the chief of police and other people that he's commenting on. And if you have control of that account, just hide the message. But it's a never-ending battle, because even if LinkedIn closes the Simon Hall account and close and hides all of the posts when they close it, that doesn't mean that this guy can't just create another account and just redo it. They have time on their hands, right? These cyber hackers, they're in undeveloped countries where, even if they're making 20, $30 a day, that's like prime. That's like awesome day for them, right? So again, this is why you have to have two-form factor authentication on. This is why you have to do training to your staff. This is why you need to make sure that your systems are monitored 24/7, so that if there's any anomalies, it doesn't take 2 months for you to figure that out. There should be a system in place that it's called, I'm not going to go technical, but it's called knock, sock, and they're actually watching your system. So that's all I got for you. I hope this was helpful. City of North Miami. We hope that you're able to be able to recover from this fast. If there's anything we can do, of course, you can always reach out. But I think if you got the FBI and those agencies, you're in good hands. It's just unfortunately, as they say in the medical field, prevention is easier than the cure. And right now, they're trying to just work, and that itself is proving to be difficult, being that they've been down for 2 months. So thank you so much for watching. As soon as we get more updates, we'll give it to you. But this is what the cyber hackers are going to do. They're going to put that pressure on you. So let's not get to that place where you have to do that. Let's put things in place now, and you put the layers and layers and layers and layers of security, so you don't even have to worry about this. Now, let's talk about that though, because you don't have to worry about this. Now, does that mean that the city of North Miami had some type of lapse? They could have done everything right. Right now, there clearly are some lapse. The fact that the virus was able to spread, the fact that the Gmail was accessed, there's a lapse, right? But my point is, the IT director there could have done 99 out of 100 things right, but it just takes that one thing for that bad guy to be one step ahead of that good guy, or for one person to click on something not thinking. I had a friend, his WhatsApp got hacked last week, and he let the bad guys in. So what could a cybersecurity person do when he fell for someone tricking him to giving him the code for his WhatsApp, right? So so that doesn't mean that the city of North Miami did anything wrong per se. It could have just been that one click, and that's all it takes, is that one click, because the bad guys are ahead of the good guys. And this is why you need a comprehensive cybersecurity plan, layers and layers and layers. I always say, um, you can be inconvenient, but you can be more secure. So, and this is happening every day. I know I keep on saying I'm going to leave, but this is happening every day. You're not too small to get hacked. You're just too small to make the news. And in this case, the city of North Miami, they're a big target. The news is going to care about them. But if you're small, making $1, $2, $3 million a year, and your systems are down, you're not going to get any news coverage from it. But you know who's going to know? Your customers. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go to your competitors. So give me a call. Let's talk about how we can get this secure in your systems, so you don't have to deal with this. Take care. Bye-bye.